Welcome you back to today's video. This is the 10th video on narration. In the last two videos, we solved the questions on narration that came in the higher secondary final examination from 2004 to 2013. And in this video, we'll solve the questions that came from 2004 and later. So this was the first question that came in 2014. So not 2014. The lady said to the salesman, "What is the price of this Barbie doll?" The salesman said to her, "It is a bit expensive, but I can give it to you at a 20% discount." So in the first question, and it is the lady who is the speaker, and her sentence is an interrogative sentence. So this is not that difficult. The lady said to the salesman, "What is the price of this Barbie doll?" The lady asked the salesman what the price of that Barbie doll was. This Barbie doll will become that Barbie doll, and what is the price? This is will go at the end, because here in the question the sentence is in interrogative form. So what is the price? But this is will go at the end when we write this sentence in the assertive form in indirect narration. So the lady asked the salesman what the price of that Barbie doll was. This is the first part. And then coming to the reply given by the salesman said to her, "It is a bit expensive, but I can give it to you at a 20% discount." See, this here, interesting thing is there. The reply given by the salesman, the first word is it. This it, there are two types of it. One, it is called introductory it. It is also called a dummy subject. In the same way as there is a word called there, 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 the same is the case with there also. There is also called a dummy subject or introductory there. When we use this type of there, introductory there or introductory it, at that time in your mother language you will find that this word doesn't carry any meaning. For example, it is raining. When you say it is raining, this it has no meaning in your language. It is raining means rain is falling. There is rainfall now. The same is the case. There is a pen in my pocket. Although I don't have a pen in my pocket, there is a pen in my pocket. Here also this there has no meaning when you think in your mother language. There is a pen in my pocket means a pen does exist in my pocket. So this introductory there and introductory it, if you find this thing in your narration, then at the time of changing, it will not be changed, it will remain the same. But this it is not introductory it. It is not that dummy subject. It is not like it is raining. The it in the sentence, it is raining, and the it in this sentence, it is a bit expensive, are not same. Why not same? Because this it is called demonstrative pronoun. It is a pronoun using which you demonstrate something. You show something and say it is. For example, if I talk about my watch, I may say it was purchased 2 years ago. When I say it, I actually demonstrate, I refer to this watch. I mean to say it. When this it, then it is a demonstrative pronoun, and this it will be changed into that. This it is like this. It and this are the same, and in indirect narration you will write that. But when you have introductory it as a dummy subject, it is raining, it is very hot today, it is Friday today, then this it will not be changed. But so far as this it is concerned, it will be changed into that. So the salesman said, "It is a bit expensive." By this he refers to that Barbie doll which the woman wants to purchase. That Barbie doll he refers to, he demonstrates that Barbie doll and he talks about that Barbie doll. So it is demonstrative pronoun, it will be changed. It is a bit expensive. So in the answer we have written, the salesman told her, you can also say the salesman replied to her that that was a bit expensive. The salesman told her that this first that is the connector and the second that is used instead of it. The salesman told her that that was a bit expensive, and the last sentence is, "But I can give it to you at a 20% discount. But I will become he could, I can give you he could give, it will again become that. I can give it to you. I can give it to you. That he could give that to her at a 20% discount. Let us see the question and the answer again. The lady said to the salesman, what is the price of this Barbie doll? The salesman said to her, it is a bit expensive, but I can give it to you at a 20% discount. The answer is, the lady asked the salesman what the price of that Barbie doll was. The salesman told her that that was a bit expensive, but he could give that to her at a 20% discount. I think you have got it, you have understood it. You write it down in a notebook and try to understand. And this was the first question that came in 2014. And the next sentence will be the second question that came in 2014. One day Mohan told me that he would become a doctor and leave Assam. I asked him if he knew anything about medicine. A similar question came in 2013 also. And a similar question came in 2013, yes, in the previous year. That was about Mukesh and about being a motor mechanic and about leaving Firuzabad. This is almost the same. The name is changed. Mohan, it is Mohan now instead of Mukesh, and it is Assam now instead of Firuzabad, and it is medicine now, it is being a doctor now instead of being a motor mechanic. So, one day Mohan told me that he would become a motor mechanic. So this is an assertive sentence. Mohan told me that. From this we understand it is an assertive sentence. One day Mohan said to me, comma quotation, that he would become. When Mohan spoke, he said, I shall become. You can also write, I will become. But usually the first person, that take I and we, that take shall, that is preferable. I shall become a doctor and leave Assam. Full stop, quotation closed. The second part is, I asked him if he knew anything about medicine. I said to him, I asked him if, this part tells us that it is an interrogative sentence, the next part is an interrogative sentence in direct narration, and since if is there, it indicates that the interrogative sentence will be a yes or no question. It will begin with an auxiliary. I asked him if he knew anything about medicine. I said to him, do you know anything about medicine? Then there is question mark, then there is the closure of quotation. Let us see the question and answer again. One day Mohan told me that he would become a doctor and leave Assam. I asked him if he knew anything about medicine. And the answer is, one day Mohan said to me, I shall become a doctor and leave Assam. I said to him, do you know anything about medicine? In the examination answer, or even in your exercise book also, you can do one thing, it will be better. When you write the first part, one day Mohan said to me, I shall become a doctor and leave Assam, full stop, quotation closed. The next part from I said, you better write in the next line. That will make it look more visible, more clear. Here in the board I have restrictions, so I had to write it here. If you continue writing, there is no issue, it is not a problem. But if you write in the next line, that will give it a better look, that's it. So this was the question, the second question that came in 2014, and the next question is, next two questions will be those that came in 2015. This is serial number 20. Where do you go every Sunday? I asked the guard. She replied, I go to the church. This is simple, but there is one very important point that needs your attention here. Where do you go every Sunday? I asked the guard. Here, of course, the reporting verb is in the past tense. And if the reporting verb is in the past tense, the tense of the reported speech will be changed. This is one principle that we learned earlier, we practiced it also. But as a second principle that we also learned is that even if the reporting verb is in the past tense, still the tense of the reported speech will not be changed. Why and when? When you find that the reported speech is a habitual action or a universal truth or a proverb. Here you see, the question is, where do you go every Sunday? The question is that the girl goes somewhere every Sunday, and this is what the man asks him. Where do you go every Sunday? If it is a practice done on weekly basis, every Sunday someone does a thing, it is a habit. So since this reported speech is a habitual action, that is why even though the reporting verb is in the past tense, still there will be no change of tense of the reported speech. I am sure you must remember these things really well that we discussed earlier. So where do you go every Sunday? I asked the girl. This part will be, I asked the girl where do you go? This is a simple present tense. Do is used to make it interrogative. Since we are changing it into indirect narration, and in indirect narration every sentence is written in assertive form, so there will not be any do, and the tense will not be changed, although reporting verb is in the past tense, because the reported speech is a habitual action. The tense will remain same simple present tense. Auxiliary will be removed because we are going to change it into assertive form. I asked the girl where she, you will become she because you is second person, and second person is changed into the object of the reporting verb, the girl, and already the term the girl is written, so we will not repeat it. Instead of the girl, we will now write she. I asked the girl where she. Then in simple present tense, after go, es will be added because the subject is that person singular. I asked the girl where she goes every Sunday. And the reply given by the girl is, she replied, I go to the church. So this reply is also a universal truth. It is also a habitual action because the question was a habitual action and this reply was given to that question only. So it is also a matter of habit. She refers to her weekly visit to the church. So it is also a habit. I go to the church. She replied that she goes to the church. This reporting verb is in the past, but here we are using this simple present tense. The same is the case here also. I asked the girl where she goes, not where she went. This is because of the this habitual action that is implied in the sentence. Let us see the question and the answer again. Where do you go every Sunday? I asked the girl. She replied, I go to the church. And the answer is, I asked the girl where she goes every Sunday. She replied that she goes to the church. And this was the first question that came in 2015, and the next question will be the second question that came in the same year. This is serial number 21. The teacher asked Rumi if she had read the Bible. She replied that she had not. The question is in indirect narration. We have to change it into direct narration. The teacher asked Rumi if she had read. Asked, it means that the reported speech will be an interrogative sentence, and if is there, this means the interrogative sentence will be a yes no type question. If she had read is past perfect tense. This means in direct narration it was either simple past or present perfect. But in such cases where there is no time phrase is given, and usually we prefer present perfect tense to past indefinite tense. So better to use present perfect tense. The teacher asked Rumi if she had read the Bible. The teacher said to Rumi, have you read the Bible? This she became you, because this she it is linked with the object of the reporting verb Rumi. And when the object of the reporting verb is used in indirect narration, this means in direct narration it was a second person word, it was you. So in present perfect tense you will have the auxiliary have, and auxiliary will come before the subject have you. Here in the indirect narration it is she had, not had she, because in indirect narration the sentence is written in assertive form, but in the direct narration we will write it in interrogative form. So the auxiliary will come before the subject. Have you read the Bible? She replied that she had not. She replied, I have not. Or she replied, no, I have not. If you say no, I have not, it sounds better. But even if you write she replied or she said, I have not, it's okay. She replied, no, I have not, this sounds better. Let us see the question and the answer again. The teacher asked Rumi if she had read the Bible. She replied that she had not. The answer is, the teacher said to Rumi, have you read the Bible? She replied, no, I have not. Or she replied, I have not. So that was the question, the second question that came in 2015. And next question that we will do, next two questions that we will do are those that came in the following year in 2016. The first question in 2016 was, how long do you have to wait for your train? The woman asked me. About an hour, I replied. So how long do you have to wait? Interrogative sentence, WH word is there. it means we will write asked and then we will use this WH word. How long will be used? The woman asked me how long. This is easy. But the next part, how long do you have to wait? Do is there as an auxiliary. This means here the question is in simple present tense. And this means that in indirect narration we will change it into simple past tense. And when we change it into simple past tense, this do will be removed because do was used just to make it interrogative. We will use the past form of the main verb. This have here is the main verb. Do you have? Do is auxiliary, have is main verb. When we change it into indirect narration, we will write it in assertive form. At that time, do will be removed. The main verb will be used in its past form. And again, you will also be changed. This you is second person, and in its place, the object of the reporting verb, me, will be used. Me is the object of the reporting verb, but here me is in the pronoun used in object form. But since you here is used in subject form, we will use the subject form of me. It means I. The woman asked me how long I had to wait for my train. How long do you have to wait for your train? The woman asked me. The woman asked me how long I had to wait for my train. And my answer was about an hour. I was just talking, so these three words, about an hour, was sufficient. But when you write here, about an hour means the question was how long do you have to wait? The answer was about an hour. In a complete sentence, you have to say, I have to wait for about an hour. So, in indirect narration, you will say, I had to wait for about an hour. I replied that I had to wait for about an hour. Because if you just say, I replied that about an hour, this will serve the purpose, but it will not sound that nice. So, let us see the question and the answer again. How long do you have to wait for your train? The woman asked me. About an hour, I replied. The answer is, the woman asked me how long I had to wait for my train. I replied that I had to wait for about an hour. This was the first question that came in 2016. And let us see the second question that came in 2016. This is serial number 23. I asked Ranjan where Meena lived. Ranjan replied regretfully that he did not know. This question is easy, but only one important point is there that you should pay much attention, that you actually know. We already discussed it in our earlier videos. I asked Ranjan where Meena lived. I said to Ranjan, where does Meena live? This does not need any kind of explanation. You all know. Coming to the second part, Ranjan replied regretfully. This is important. We earlier got it. That regretfully, when do we use regretfully in the indirect narration? When in the direct narration we have the word sorry. So this regretfully in the indirect narration will be replaced by the word sorry in direct narration. This means in direct narration we will no more write the word regretfully. In its place we will write sorry. Ranjan replied regretfully that he did not know. Ranjan said sorry that he did not know. That he did not know. This did not is simple past tense. In direct narration it was simple present tense. And he, there he is Ranjan, he was speaking in the first person, it will be I do not know. If you see the question in the reverse way, I said to Ranjan, where does Meena live? Ranjan said, sorry, I do not know. And then we change it into indirect, it will be the same sentence given above. I asked Ranjan where Meena lived. Ranjan replied regretfully that he did not know. This was the second question that came in 2016, and then this was the second question that came in 2016, and we'll now see the next question that came in 2017. The first question in 2017 is number 24 as per our sequence, and see, it's a long question. The boy said to the teacher, "Sir, I am weak in English and seek your advice. Read the text thoroughly and try to express your ideas in simple, correct English," said the teacher. This is a long question. In the first question, you see, there are two speeches. First speech is by the boy, and then the second one is by the teacher, and both are in direct narration. You have to change them into indirect narration. What the boy said, it begins with sir, and we all know what sir is there. You have to use politely. The word sir will not be used. The boy said to the teacher, "Sir, I am weak in English." The boy politely told the teacher that he was weak in English. I am weak in English. He was weak in English. And seek your advice. The boy continues. First he said, "I am weak in English," and then he said, I seek your advice. Seek became simple past. From simple present it became simple past. So seek became sought, S-O-U-G-H-T, and sought his advice. And seek your advice became and sought his advice. This is the first part. And see the second part. Here the first part ends. Full stop, quotation closed. Again quotation begins. This means this is the speech by the teacher. The teacher is saying this part. Read the text thoroughly. This is the advice the teacher is giving. Read the text thoroughly. See the word thoroughly. Many people make mistakes in pronouncing this word. They say thoroughly. There is a word called throw, okay, and they think if they say thoroughly, it will be something wrong. So they just say they say thoroughly instead of thoroughly. It is actually thoroughly. T-H-O-R-O-U-G-H-L-O. Thoroughly means in details. The teacher said, read the text thoroughly and try to express your ideas in simple, correct English. Since this is an advice, it's an imperative sentence, it begins with the main verb. So the teacher advised him, then what? We have learned it earlier. In case of imperative sentence, the main verb before it will write to read. To read the text thoroughly and try to express, in the direct narration it was your ideas, and in indirect narration it became his ideas in simple correct English. So the use of sir and then the way we have used politely, that is the most important thing to keep in mind here. Let us see the question and the answer again. The boy said to the teacher, "Sir, I am weak in English and seek your advice. Read the text thoroughly and try to express your ideas in simple, correct English." The teacher said the teacher. Now the answer is, the boy politely told the teacher that he was weak in English and sought his advice. The teacher advised him to read the text thoroughly and try to express his ideas in simple, correct English. Okay. Another important point is here we have used the boy politely told the teacher. If you find the word sir is used in an interrogative sentence, for example, he said to me, "Sir, do you know me?" In that case, you will again use politely instead of sir, but the other part of the sentence will be as usual. For example, he politely asked me if I knew him. So asked or said, whatever, that depends on whether the sentence is assertive or interrogative. That is another thing. But to use the word politely instead of sir, that is to be followed wherever, whatever be the other things, tense or type of sentence, whatever be the other things, the use of politely for sir, that is something common. So I'm sure you have got it, you have understood it. It was a long question that came in 2017, and it was the first question of the year 2017. We are now going to do the second question that came in 2017. My friend told me that he was very thirsty and requested me to give him a glass of water. It is not that difficult. My friend told me that, this means this part, the coming person will be an assertive sentence, because told me. And then again after a while you find and requested me. This means there is an imperative sentence also. Please will be there. And second part will be an imperative sentence. So there are two sentences here in this indirect narration. The first one is an assertive sentence. My friend told me that, this part. And then requested me, then the next part is an imperative sentence. So my friend told me, it means my friend said to me, that will be removed. That he was very thirsty. It means I am very thirsty. In present tense he said I am very thirsty. That is the end of the first sentence. Assertive sentence is ended here. I am very thirsty. Then the next part, and requested me, it means when he said I am very thirsty, then he made a request. So this part will be an imperative sentence. It will begin with please. and requested me to give him a glass of water. Please give me a glass of water. Let us see the answer now, and in the reverse way you will see the question. My friend said to me, I am very thirsty. Please give me a glass of water. My friend told me that he was very thirsty and requested me to give him a glass of water. This was the second question that came in 2017, and in this video we have solved the questions on narration that came in higher secondary final examination from the year 2014 to the year 2017, and we will have another video where from 2018 to 2020 the questions that came in those 3 years will be discussed. And I once again ask you to go to the earlier videos and know the rules, and to equip yourselves with the knowledge of tense. That is very essential. And narration is something not that easy, one thing. And the second thing is that in the final examination there is no choice, no option. It is compulsory. 4 marks is there. So you have to keep all these things in mind. And in case of any difficulty, any query, any doubt, you can ask me in the comment box. So wishing to meet you soon in the next video where we will solve the question that came in the following years. Thank you very much.